Alrighty, guys, we're gonna get rolling. So we got an interesting topic. We're gonna bring some more energy to some of these sessions. So I know it's the end of the day, so we'll get rolling in it. My name is Zach Kinch. I work at the Rohrman Automotive Group, and so do all three of these people. No. So we're literally just bringing the Rohrman Automotive Group to you.
How did we get a takeover? They don't usually let me have a mic. They turn mine off. They don't usually let me have one. How did we get a takeover of a panel?
I think because you did enough food reviews this week that they just said you're good to go. So who are you?
I'm Austin Conroy. I'm a fixed ops director for the Rohrman Auto Group.
And next to you?
Jeremy Nowling, Sales and Digital Retailing Director for the Rohrman Automotive Group.
And then, sir, I don't think we've heard from you yet today.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here.
So we got a short little video we're going to play to kind of introduce what the session's going to be about. Guys, we're going to use the Q&A, but we're going to use like traditional Q&A. Like if you have a question you don't want to be anonymous, just ask. Literally raise your hand. Let's have some fun with it. The beauty of this, and this is why I thought the session's good, when they asked us to do something in social, it went, we're learning. Ryan didn't post on social at all until 18 months ago?
Yep. It was, I think, January 1st of 2024.
So crazy to get into the waters. Jeremy, if you followed him at all, only posts on Facebook and LinkedIn every 38 seconds. So Jeremy in the automotive space is like, it's hard to travel with Jeremy. If you're in automotive, like every 6 steps, it's someone else grabbing him. So Jeremy's literally known in this session. And then Austin's platform's gone from no followers to
over 150,000.
And 9 months, 10 months?
6 or 7, something like that.
So we're gonna get into how it operates in our business. So Logan, if you wanna go ahead.
Quiet on the set, take 73.
What? It's just...
What would Mr. Rohrman say tonight if he could be here?
We say...
Likes don't pay the bills, or do they? At Rohrman Toyota, we don't just post, we perform. Sales events, community events, and walkarounds, each one built for reach and ROI. We turn viral moments into website traffic, and traffic into appointments. But it's not just about selling cars, it's about building culture. Our videos made people laugh, apply, and stick around. We've used content to hire top talent, boost team morale, and showcase who we really are on the lot and online. It's even made an impact on Ryan Rohrman's personal LinkedIn with content that connected industry leaders, partners, and future employees. This is lead generation, team building, and brand strategy wrapped up in creativity because yes, likes can pay the bills.
Kind of a quick background in it, and Ryan, I'll start with you on it. Like, what was it for you that clicked, like, I need to start posting more than just personal and start focusing on who you are, but also the brand of Rohrman Automotive?
So I manage under the concept of don't do anything. Don't ask. You can't ask something of your staff that you don't do yourself. And so in 2024, we always start the year off with like a charge. And so 2024 was the year of own it. So like everything we did, we created our own branding around it. And so it was everything we do, we're gonna own it this year. We're gonna go all the way and we're gonna own it. And so one of them was we all have these unique platforms, own it. And I'm not a social media person at all. To this day, I don't have a Facebook page. But I couldn't ask everyone to own their platform if I wasn't doing it myself. And so I'm just on LinkedIn. And so I started posting, and that's kind of how it began. And it exploded. I mean, it was wild. And it really, I don't want to get ahead of where you want to take this, but it grew so much bigger than I ever, do I sell cars off of it? Yeah, maybe sometimes, but I think every different level can pull different things from doing it well. And the way I've been able to like hire in, like I don't need to pay to post anymore to get job applicants. I literally have people sitting in my inbox, like especially after this event, I bet I have more. But you know, they're sitting there and it's literally, I have to put them in a holding pattern. It's like, I don't have anything available right now, but when I do, are you okay if I reach back out to you? And they're like, yeah, you know, and so it's so powerful. It's wild. And it's not just in our little markets, right? It's global. And, recently I've started to go outside of auto with stuff, and that's a whole nother story, of just like, what is that doing? And then what you can learn from it. I mean, I love learning new things. And so much of it is the engagement of going back and forth between other leaders of innovation and just leaders of different industries, whether it's in automotive or not. So it's been a fun journey.
For sure. And I think, Jeremy, what's unique from what I saw, right, was as I'm cutting my teeth in automotive and just trying to stay above the water, right? I'm learning as a salesperson, finance. You're posting nonstop, good, bad, ugly, indifferent. Like, it's even to the point where it's like, why'd you post that? And be like, well, I hadn't posted. I'm just throwing something up out there, and it builds that personality for you. So, like, what have you seen with it when you come to events like this? Like, how's it benefited you with vendor relations, connections, et cetera?
Well, for this event and one a few weeks back, it was more of every vendor that I haven't talked to or did business with yet. They're now approaching us about the opportunity that they can contribute to a CDP. So the conversations are completely different than what they were 2 years ago at events, because people didn't know that we were going down that path. So it was just your typical vendors, your auto alerts and things like that. Now there's so many different tech side vendors that reach out at events that you had no clue existed in the market. And what we have come to find out for leads for me would be how much cheaper tech is outside of automotive vendor space. It's insane.
And I think, from the sidelines in our journey, you've always been the cheerleader for Rohrman Automotive to be heavy in social. And I think that's stupid coming from, Jeremy, I don't want to disclose your age, but a middle-aged man versus, someone in the younger generation that's grown up with social. Yeah. Like, I should be in it, I should be doing it. But Jeremy's kind of been the one throughout Rohrman that's been saying, like, why aren't you doing it? Why aren't you doing it? And then that leads into Austin Conroy, or Dealer Plate Guy, as he's known on social media. Like, you went the opposite route. You have social media, don't ever post on it personally, and then decided all of a sudden to do entertainment. So, like, what's that, and how does that ROI? Because, you're in service.
Yeah, I think a couple things. You're either consuming content or you're creating content. That's the world we live in. And I really came to that realization of, like, this is not just for salespeople anymore. We had a great relationship with Russ Flips Whips after he came out to the Toyota store. And, from that, I just realized, again, you're either consuming it or creating it. And I thought, initially you go into it and you're like, what's the ROI? We're trained as operators and directors to always know what the ROI is, always know what the net impact is going to be before you do anything. But this was one of the first projects where it's just like, let's just do it and see what happens. And out of that, I wouldn't be on this stage if it wasn't for social media. And like the whole reason why I'm here and got connected with these people. And then, recent service manager opening that I had was the real point where, with social media, if you're just ask all the time, hey, come buy this car, hey, come service your car with us, nobody wants to follow you. But you're actually creating value. For me, it's mostly satirical videos. People who know me well know how sarcastic I am, and so it comes very natural for me. But I posted this first time I could ask, and I got 13 extremely qualified resumes. There were people that could take my job. I didn't forward them to him, but they operate huge stores all across the country. I don't think any dealers here had any managers that applied, so don't worry about it. It was the first time that I really got to see a payoff from building this platform. I hired a technician off of TikTok Live. Kenny still works for us, and I know I'm going to have a couple more from it. But it is just amazing. Not only support the automotive community in that way. I do a lot of satirical videos, and I have people that email me and are like, or direct message me and say, man, I never thought about it that way, or I learned so much from your videos. I'm like, you do? Because I think they're kind of funny sometimes. I'd like point out the bad stuff in automotive, but I think that's the ROI for me. But if you're thinking about getting into social, just do it. Just start posting.
Yeah, I think the big thing that Austin hit on that I want to make sure is clear to everybody is, like, when he got into it, it was full-fledged, like, I'm going to commit to this for how long? 60 days every single day?
Yeah, I think I said like 30 days.
Okay.
I'll just try it. But the thing was, I posted, 3 skit videos. So I did 2 in the parts department first, which is wild. There's like no parts skits out there. And then the third one I did was this video about interviewing a lube tech. And that was the one that went viral. Yeah. And that was the one that I thought, oh boy, this is crazy. I made the mistake of wearing a Rohrman Auto shirt in it. And so, I think Ryan, he's been so gracious, to support the content. And, definitely along the way, I was like, I probably shouldn't have the Rohrman shirt in it. I wear a vest all the time to cover up the logo. But that was really what got me into it. And then it's like, man, people like it. It's cool to create content, put it out there. And, even if 100 people like it, it's cool.
Yeah, I think we'll segue into that part. So I want to pause that because I think that's a big one of, like, if I'm going to start posting on LinkedIn, if I'm going to start being on social, if I'm going to do it, I'm also exposing a lot. Like my privacy's gone in it. We'll get back to that one, but I got to ask, and this may be loaded, this may end your career. Ryan, has everything that's been posted been good for Rohrman Automotive on social?
I don't know. That's no. I mean, what do they say? Any publicity is good publicity, right? So I
Something
guess
like that.
from that angle, but no, I mean, I think the challenging part with social from my position is when you encourage 1,300 people to utilize your platform, it comes with some risks, and there's conversations you have to continually have. It's like, is that really the image that we want to portray? And so we definitely, we're into this now for 2 years. So we definitely had a lot of sidebar conversations with that needs to be removed. And, there's comments like, well, I don't have my name tag on. Yes, but I can see that you're in my dealership. So, if you want to go do that someplace else, that's fine. But it was a process to get to where we are, and it's working. It's one of those risks. Like, the same thing can happen with any form of advertising, because that's really, at the end of the day, what it is. And we've had to recall advertising, in years past as well because of misprints or whatever. So, but overall, there hasn't been anything that. There's not even a great funny story that I can recall because nothing's been really that bad. So, yeah.
Do you have any sort of like structured outlines or training or tips as a new associate joins, or maybe besides they want a previous associate wants to be on social media? Any guidelines or guidance?
Yeah, and I probably will pass this off to some of these guys to answer that question. It's a great question. And so inside of it, it's really interesting. So across multi-rooftops, it is the buy-in from the top down. And so like Zach runs our Toyota store in Lafayette, and the buy-in at that store is wild. Like every single person in the store has a unique platform, and they just showed me a video that went viral. And how long did it take?
How long the video? It's only been up for like 7 days to
Well,
30
it
million views.
probably took them 30 seconds to do it. It was a funny meme type video, but it's got 28 million views. I don't know how many it has on Instagram.
Well, it's 29
and
on social. So.
It has nothing to do with the car business, okay? But now, the next time he posts, 28 million people are going to see his next post, which, if he's smart, it's going to be about his platform selling cars. What's the power inside of that? I honestly don't know, but it's powerful. So, but I want to answer her question more. So, do you want to take that?
I was just going to say that, one thing that, Bannon does for us is they manage that content. So when we bring in a Rust Flips whip, we actually will go and load that into the LMS. So as part of onboarding, it's one of the assigned lessons that new user has to go to. And it's also a reference point for somebody who's been with the dealership who's like, okay, I see Zach doing it. Now I need to start doing this. They can go in at any time and get bullet points from it.
And for those who don't know, Bannion's a training company for us. So they work heavily with us, partnered with us, and pretty much exclusively working with our company to bring content to our staff. So Ryan and the team with Banyan to build out an LMS, so learning management system. So if we bring in a third party like that is established and qualified, one of the agreements is like, hey, we're going to record you. Well, that's my brand. Yeah, if you want to work with us, we're going to record you. And we're going to keep it because we believe every content's good content, and we can kind of grow in it. To the point that Ryan made, it has been rooftop based. And I think the way that we've described it is any video you post is going to be also the last video you post. And the only reason you're going to be able to post it is if we go about it and think it's okay to be posted. So know that if you post something that doesn't carry our culture, our brand, our company, you're done. And that may be your employment with us too. Like you're outreaching to these people. This is something that you have a massive footprint. You have a massive opportunity to where this guy makes a funny video, 30 million views. Well, to Ryan's point, every next video that he posts for the next 2 weeks are going to go to those same people that liked it, commented, shared. Like, how can you now bring in the company and the brand? And this, ironically, is a finance manager for us. And it's kind of been that crazy chaos of when they get on the line, they definitely have come to the office and said, will you watch this before I post it? Yeah. And they're always okay. But I love that kind of culture that, hey, we only get one strike at this. This isn't a 3-strike policy when it comes to business.
Yeah, I think it's like anything. You roll out a process at a dealership. There's people who are going to do it. There's people who aren't going to do it. But, as far as training, so Rust Flips Whips has given me a lot of advice as far as when we're starting. And I can always use the analogy, I'm a golfer. And so if I want to learn how to golf, I'm going to go to the best and I'll be better a lot quicker. So I know Russ has a training platform now you can check out, and he goes through everything with that. But it took him 7 to 8 years to build this platform. The benefit that we have now is we know the strategies that he used, and they're very simple. It's like a hook in the beginning of the video. Think about the context of the video, the first 3 seconds, make sure people don't swipe away. There's some really fundamental elements that I believe everybody can do social media. I mean, everybody in this room thinks, maybe they can, maybe they can't. I didn't think I would ever be doing social media, like ever. But I am, and I'm having fun with it, right? And so we'll see where it takes me, I guess.
We also added 2 media managers, and they go around to the stores, and we have countless events that they'll go in and they engage with all the staff and just make sure that they're having a good time. And it's not about just about the videos, the views and stuff like that. It's also about showing the community that, hey, we are your community and we are giving back in those ways. That generates likes, leads, and things of those nature. And then how we can support the stores that are doing this is if it's a corporate account, we can actually tag it with our CDP tag and be able to.
Whoa, you're getting ahead. You're getting ahead. Calm down, CDP. Jeez, this guy, those are the only 3 letters he knows anymore. Like, here's the part that I'd say, and this is where it's going to get into. I'm going to ask you guys this question, but for us, like, we spend thousands of dollars to attract the best talent to sit across from us in the dealership. Salespeople, service advisor, service manager, parts manager. Well, maybe not parts manager. No, parts managers have personalities too. I agree with that statement. But we literally spend all this time trying to recruit the best, right? We want them across from us, and what makes our dealership great, all you guys can say the statement, is your people, right? We've drank the ASOTU Kool-Aid since the beginning of it. Like, culture and people will always be the crux of this business. And we get so stuck in sell car, service car, we forget about people. Like, providing a great experience is the only reason the car dealership environment still exists today. If we go back to the old school of just taking advantage of everything, it will be gone. And the part that we believe in is, like, if we spend this money, why are we not showing off the people that can be servicing our clientele?
Well, and think about this. I always love this point. So who struggles with their salespeople doing follow-up, like after sales customer? Your social media is your follow-up. Hey guys, I also have a social media account. Here you go. Now that customer is going to see you posting 3 or 4 times a week every single time they open their phone. And I used to sell cars. If I would have known that back then, I might still be selling cars. Like, just the amount of follow-up, and you're always in front of people. So again, just another benefit of why you should do it.
Yeah, and I think that's been the big point for us is, like, again, we want our best people in front of it, and we've seen that side of it. The first part that always starts with social media is, like, you just have to post. And I love some of the content we've heard is like, well, if I post and it's terrible, I don't want people to see it. Good news is it's social media. They're not going to see it. If it sucks,
it's a bad video,
no one's
nobody saw
it.
Who cares?
Like, that's the part is, like, the number of times that we've all sent something out on LinkedIn where it's like, man, I don't even think that actually had a good point. And then it gets tons of impressions. You're like, well, someone found it useful because I didn't side with that. I just posted to be out there. Or, the first video you do and you go, I hate what it looks like. Good news is I think the first video that was on your account was a couple hundred. I think the first Rohrman page,
I don't even remember it.
Rohrman Toyota on social media, we posted like 65 videos before we ever cracked 1,000. And then we had one guy who's worked for us for 40 years playing off, what was the
Badger ads.
The Badger. And he was doing the wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. I got wiggle room. Yeah. And it did 150,000. And it was like, oh, we found something. Yeah. But it was like literally 60 videos of nobody watching it. And then all of a sudden it was like, here comes some traction. Here comes our momentum on it. So the question I go back into for you guys in dealership operation, and this is where, Jeremy, get ready, it's coming your way, is how do we now ROI this? Like, again, Ryan, you said it's been 2 years of us really trying social. Not like sales event Friday, come and buy a car, get some money. Like, that's social, but that doesn't work. Nobody sees it except the people that are already following you. They're following you, which means they're not going to buy a car because they already bought a car because that's why they're following you. Like, you're not going to follow up with those. We want some kind of a conquest piece. So, like, what does that look like moving forward now that we have a captive audience?
I would say, so, like, I'll use what you just recently did as an example. So Zach and Logan and the team, they're now generating more leads than KBB for their store off social ads to buy their vehicles. And you connect that to a leads bridge, they're coming right into the CRM. How much is it costing us? Almost nothing. I mean, we put a little bit of money behind it, but nothing substantial to where what we're paying for some of those platforms. And the leads are good. Where's Logan? Is he hiding in here?
He's in the back.
Logan's in the back. Yeah, Logan's the man behind it. Logan's my cameraman for my account. He runs the Rohrman Toyota account.
You know those lead counts? I mean, I've seen it. Yeah, I mean, you showed it up on the screen at the beginning.
Yeah, our leads on like used car just inquiries are between 5 to 9 a day. and it's every single day. Like it's to the point where it's too much for us as a sales staff to stay on top of it transparently.
Yeah. So what
Like
do we?
they're just too many for our guys to want to work and work standard leads in their standard roles. So
Yeah. So what do we do with it? So we can tag that site. We can tag our Facebook and TikTok sites with Steven back there at OMG through CDP. Now we have that customer's IP address, which it's generally it's associated with their email address. So now we're going to go ahead and be able to pursue those customers as well. And for the ones that just come to the site, this one's really cool. I won't share all of this, Liza, but you can talk to me later. But there's ways to identify the 30 to 40% of those consumers that come to your site that you've never received any PII on. So now I can capture those customers that came to the site from his TikTok ad and be able to pursue those consumers via email because I can identify them. So, I mean, it's huge.
And I want to say something too, because we have not spent a single dollar behind any of this. This is literally a phone. You know, the fanciest thing we get are the little DJI mics, which I got my brother-in-law bought me for Christmas for $80, and I rarely use those. Like, this is organic social media. That's the power of it. It's free. Everybody can do it. You just have to choose to do it.
but what's the power, right? That's easy to say. What's the power of somebody doing organic social media for a business?
I mean, you're building your brand, right? And so there's an ice cream shop that's 20 minutes south of my in-laws, and I'm like, I have to go there. I saw them on TikTok. And I think that's the power of it. But again, you see all these other people doing it. It goes back to my comment in the beginning. You're either consuming it or you're creating it. So it's like, why not try it? Because you never know. You might be good at it. You might get into it and figure out, hey, I actually kind of like this, or hey, I'm connecting with these people. You know, there's also businesses out there where they don't get the views. They might get 1,500 to 2,000 views, but they're getting so many leads off those videos. You don't know what category you're going to fall in. As far as the leads that you guys are getting off the link tree, so every content creator that you follow is like, oh, link in my bio. Like, that's what it is. We have a link tree and link in the bio. They click it. You can see all the statistics and all the data. So like, I created a website for what reason? Just because I'm a data nerd and I wanted to see how many people I could get click it, and you know, lifetime clicks of 5,000 to my website. Like, how dumb is that? But again, that's the power of it, and me just like trying it and creating it.
And I think this is where it was kind of the aha moment. It was November for us. We do a sales event. It's a $99 car Black Friday sales event, and truly, we sell the car for $99. And we did this one year, and it started with like 10 people camping out. It was a terrible idea once we got into it because it looked like Skid Row outside our dealership for the week before. So, I mean, literally, it's tents and camps, and they bring in like fire pits, and it's like, man, we didn't think this one through. Like, for the week of the event, everyone who's coming into our phenomenal facility is also walking by all these homeless people that are here for a $99 car. So we go through that whole event, and it was great. We had a great success. We sold 40 cars on Black Friday. Typically, Black Friday for us is 10 to 12. It's a solid day, but nothing amazing, right? The following year, which was this last year, we go back and we double down. Now we're going to do two $99 cars. We're giving one away on social, so you have to follow us. So $99, you get the opportunity, right? You got to buy it. We don't give things away, gambling commission. And then the other one is first come, first serve. And then you have all the other cars. That one lead, that one event took us in our Google Analytics ahead of all of our paid social outside of SE, like straight paid social through Google. Like, we passed all third-party lead providers. We passed all these other things we're putting thousands of dollars on monthly budgets on. And it wasn't by a little. It was like 3x the number. And it was an aha moment that triggered everything to us of like, hey, now nothing we do on social is about content. It's all about key events. And it goes back to that CDP where I will be the first person to say this. CDPs until all of 2 weeks ago have made no sense to me. And I've been in the same dealer group for 12 years, and I believe these guys, and I trust them, and I'm kind of walking aimlessly until about 2 weeks ago when the light bulb went off. And it was the aha moment of like, I can capture data through key events on social. Like, now it's not someone interacting with me and coming to find me and me having that. It's somebody that's loving Austin Conroy's content, loving Ryan Rohrman's LinkedIn, loving Jeremy's Facebook posts, that then interacts with him that now comes back to this, and that's an audience type. So if I have an event where I have a $99 car in November this year, and we say, hey, to register for the event, click this link. All of a sudden, any other time I have a car sub $5,000, guess who I'm advertising to? It's not just the random dump into the CRM and please somebody need a $5,000 car. I have buyers sitting there in an audience type. If it's an event where we do a mud run in the middle of the summer and it's an off-road event and we want to have, we have trucks right now at Toyota out the wazoo. It's about the only car we have, Tundras and Tacomas. That's a great time for me to have another audience type. And like, this is the power of where social is going to go, where we're going to realize very quickly we could turn off almost all third-party advertisement. And what's crazy is when I look, Stephen with our ad company, when I look at third-party advertisement and budget spends, we are always the bottom dealer when it comes to it.
Yeah, you guys are, they don't spend anything.
Which
I'm
is good.
scanning the room right now for my third-party reps, but please do leave the room for a second. But
All the other stores spend a lot of money.
I will say this: we have already went down substantially in packages. I guarantee you, my budget's less than everybody else's in this building on advertising for the 22 locations. You can agree with that. And I will say that the lead counts are not hurting us anymore. And what's cool about what Zach and Austin are talking about, as soon as that customer does scan that QR or fill out that PII area, that customer's activated now. And as soon as they're activated, now I know everything. And I know what you're doing. And I'm going to stitch you. I'm going to follow you. I'm going to get my message in
You're
front of you.
such a creep when you say it like that.
I'm telling you.
It's
hey,
the
man,
smile and the smirk.
I'm going back to a pager. You called me old, Bob. I'll go back to a pager after all the crap I know now. It's wild.
So
What you can do.
it is crazy. Any Q&A? I mean, anybody have anything? Yeah.
I'm right here. Yeah. My name's
So
Austin.
let me give the preview to this, right? Yeah. Austin and I have worked together. Austin was my service manager at the Toyota store. Austin, long story, I played college golf. Austin was my golf coach for a semester. Should never have been my golf coach. We were way too close in age when you became the
Because you
golf
shouldn't have
coach.
made the team, or I.
That's probably right. Austin's exact words when I told him, I said, hey, I have an opportunity at a car dealership. I think I may do it. Dude, you got to go to it. It would be a no-brainer. I start working there 3 years later. I think I'm making a career change. Do you think I should work? Dude, you got to do it. It'd be so stupid. That's how Austin and I end up together. So we have a relationship outside of it. He's always been witty. We've tried him in finance, and he's like, man, I just can't get this process for me. We put him in service, and he thrives, crushes it. It's process, right? He's a process individual, kills it. He starts getting intrigued about social media and says to me, hey, I want to start a podcast. My personality is complete opposite. You want to start a podcast? Okay, tomorrow all the stuff will be here from Amazon.
He legitimately did that. I'm like, we got to plan this and sit down.
we gotta
and
go.
take some time. And
So that's how he starts in it, is just doing these podcast episodes. And it was really more of like us sharing with our staff what was going on. Why are we in these meetings? What are we talking about? What's going on? And then that leads into us falling in love with this social thing and going like, holy cow, the doors are opening like crazy for us. And I say to him, dude, you would kill it in social. You would do this in social. You do this in social. He spends 6 months posting nothing. No account, viewing it, consuming it, nothing. And all of a sudden, it's like a light switch flicks. He posts like 3 memes, and then all of a sudden he goes on camera, and in 6 months goes from not ever doing anything to making money on social media.
Yeah.
So
My-
that's
my-
the background here.
yeah, the first one, just real quick. If you go to my LinkedIn page, I still have it as the MTV Cribs video. You guys remember that? That was like my first one I ever did. I look back at it, it's so bad. Like the opening's so slow. I did not follow any sort of process that I do now in terms of like how you structure the videos and make them intriguing. And that video was terrible. But I got 20 something resumes off that thing. I mean, it was unbelievable. And that was when I really was like, okay, there might be something to it. That's why I got intrigued with it. I'm embarrassed the video's still out there, to be honest.
So the question is then, how do you coach somebody into that? Because you've done it now multiple times, right?
Yeah. I mean, there is definitely like, we don't have enough time to go into like the structure of the video, but it really is just, man, there's things that are not interesting to you that are interesting to other people. You know, there's some main types of content. There's educational, there's satirical. You may not do the satire, you may not do the funny skits. That's fine. You can do educational videos. You can do behind the scenes videos if you have a job where you can just record. I mean, how many people do you follow that you just watch them work? I don't know anything about working on cars, funny enough, and I follow a ton of technicians just because I like watching them take apart a transmission and put it back together. I find it intriguing. So I think that's what it is. It's like you literally just have to start posting and figure out and just realize that I fast-tracked it because I trained with Russ, and he taught me exactly how to do it. But all the other guys took 6, 7, 8 years of doing it, right, to get to that point. But I don't think that's an excuse not to do it. I would say just commit to 90 days. post once a day and see what happens and evaluate it after that.
Yeah, and I would say to kind of your question, my natural state is not this. This is awful for me. Like, I despise cameras. I despise any time that's not in production, right? If I'm not making money, if I'm not producing, if I'm not working with my people, I hate it. This is adaptive, and I get worn out quick with this stuff. So, like, for me, it was the same thing like Ryan said, and that's where I saw it. That's why Ryan's here, is that he led on LinkedIn with doing these things. I would never post on LinkedIn. It's not my platform, and I've been religious on it because of what he's done and what Jeremy's done on Facebook and LinkedIn. So to answer it, pulling the people ahead as the leader and saying, like, hey, you're going to make content with me today. And that's what it's been, is like, we've had several videos where they get a little taste of success because now they're in the video and it does 3 million views, and I could do this on my own. That was so easy. Now they go to make 7 videos and it's terrible. And it's like, exactly like you guys would say, is like, if I'm on social media today and I'm watching videos or I'm reading things, why did I read that? Start asking that question. And what you'll find is the first 6 seconds is way too long. It's the first 2 seconds. And that's what the big hook has been for us, is like, what's the first 2 seconds of why I'm going to continue this content?
The other thing I'll say just real quick is, like, just copy someone else. If there's a video that you like, literally just copy it. Word for word. Who cares? Post it.
Yeah, no trademarks. Other questions? Yeah.
So just wondering, so we do a lot of social content, but it's more like us telling the stores to do it, and
Yeah.
not really on their own behalf. How do you guys kind of manage utilizing that content on your own pages as well, to kind of get out their message from like an internal standpoint?
That's a good question.
So generally at the store level, there's somebody who has to approve that video, right? And so for us, it was the media managers at all of the other locations that would approve or deny it.
Yeah, and I think it is pretty clear. Like, when you start to build your own separate brand, it is like, I would never post, I don't say never, but I wouldn't post one of my videos like for the company. I mean, it's separate. I do it after hours. Like, no, I keep it separate. Like I said, I wear a vest in a lot of my videos to cover up like the logo. I do it after hours. Like, a lot of people don't know that. I mean, it's from Tuesday nights. Logan and I are typically there Tuesday nights from 5 to 7-ish. Come in like Saturdays from 3 to 6 when services close, that sort of thing. So I really do try to keep it separate, at least for my personal brand. But content in the dealerships, there are like appointed people at the store that take charge of that and do the car reviews. Do the content that's more dealership suited, I would say, right?
Yeah, there's a fine line between the social media that is branded by our brand, and that's it's the boring stuff, to be quite frank, and it does something. I mean, it puts you out there and you can find it, but then the stuff that we're really talking about is more, it's your brand. Like Austin's thing, it's his brand. Zach's, it's his brand. And so how they bring customers in, it's through their brand into our stores, if that makes sense. But we try to be very careful of his brand is his, and it's healthy for it not to be attached to my brand, for multiple reasons. And so we really make sure that there's a line in between there. So like you have a unique platform. We all have unique personalities, and we're all into different things, specifically inside of cars. So how can you find something interesting about yourself to attach to cars or something else and draw it into you? You're not drawing in the Rohrman. Once they enter into the dealership, it becomes a Rohrman customer, but it's still, I mean, at the end of the day, it's your customer. Sure. And then it's up to us to keep them. So like to answer your question directly, there's a definitive line between Rohrman social media and, hey, use your platform. They're all unique. Go do something with it.
I'd say this is one of the reasons I love working for the Rohrman Auto Group too, like Ryan's leadership and innovation. I mean, just how he put that. There's a lot of dealer principals that are very much against it and don't want to kind of play in this gray area, that is very progressive. Like what you just said, not a lot of dealers would agree with that, or not a lot of dealers are practicing that, but we're seeing some big results from it. Yeah.
Especially, and this is the monkey there, especially when it goes to monetization. Like, there is a point, sorry if this crosses the line with you, there is a point where money starts coming into social media, and these guys can make very good money. Brand deals are insane. Because again, if Austin makes a post and 800,000 people see it, that's more exposure than what a lot of these brands can get on their own. So there's a point in that, and the Rohrmans have been very understanding in that sense of like, hey, go brand it, go build it. The name Rohrman Toyota is his name. And to your question, like nobody posts on that account besides me or Logan. And if Logan posts on it, it's because I approved it. And when it's terrible and Logan posted it, I approved it. And even if Logan didn't ask it, I approved it. And when Ryan tells me you crossed the line, I approved it. Like I know that. And there's definitely that kind of trust that has to be in there. So
And your store is earning money from it.
yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. So AI does our titles and captions quite heavily. We've tried scripts, and scripts are terrible. It just misses the point. But captions and titles, we usually take a lot of ideas based off AI. Now, it may not be what it suggested. We may switch it to what we know works. But definitely especially for me personally on LinkedIn, almost anything from ASOTU this week has all been AI when it comes to the titles and captions. Like, we'll type out what we want to say and then say, like, increase the impressions and exposure. And then just using AI like any prompts, like command it to what you want it to do, and it's going to do it. Because hashtags are powerful on some platforms, and they're complete terrible on others. We haven't yet.
No.
We've used some for like third-party images and stuff with it, but nothing as far as characters go.
No, because I mean, my brain is like me on camera is what it is. But I definitely like the scripting. I mean, it is a creative process. You are creating content. And so there's times where you're dry and you can't think of anything. Or even in good times, you just use chat as kind of, instead of, brainstorming on a whiteboard like we may do, I brainstorm in chat GPT, and I pay for it now, the premium version, so I like force myself to use it more. But it comes up with those video hooks and those ideas, and it can tweak things certain different ways. So at the end of the day, it's still my content, and I own it because I'm prompting chat of what to say.
All right, we got time for like one or two more, then we'll be done.
How do you handle privacy? Like changing to like a public profile and not getting like messages and just don't, like that's my personal fear of not.
You should see some of the stuff people say to me. I mean, it's just whatever. I mean, they spam you, but that is what it is.
When you mean privacy, are you talking you personally privacy, or are you talking the dealer group? Okay, yeah, welcome to the world.
It's online attacks. I mean, it's online attacks.
I mean, the moment you start posting things for yourself, it's the most savage stuff you've ever read in your entire life. Like, if you aren't confident in what you're putting out there.
Don't read the comments.
Yeah, I mean, there's been stuff like he gets it. This is one of his favorite things in the world.
I enjoy him now.
Yeah,
like bring it on. I don't care.
We'll get text messages at like 11:30 at night and be like, "Are you up?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm reading comments." It's like, stop it. But yeah, I mean, it's awful. It truly is terrible. And that's been a good conversation inside the dealership with some of these guys. Like, hey, this is just you. Don't worry about it. It's who you are. You roll with it.
But there's a great side of it too. You get way more messages that are really positive and good, and like, hey, this is cool content. I love it. Thank you. That sort of thing.
Cool.
So what really gave you guys like the push to actually go all in on this? Because like I've had like some like situations where like we'll get some like managers and stuff that'll be like, yeah, let's do that for a little bit. And they'll do it for like a month and be like, oh, it's a waste of time and stuff. Jeremy, what really like pushed you guys into like, okay, we're going to absolutely do this?
Now, have you ever been in car sales before? I'm just curious. Do you remember the days when, and age, but do you remember the days when the managers used to say, put your phones down?
Yes.
And now what do we encourage our people to do now? Pick up your phone. Your customers are on your phone. Everybody's on your phone. And what are they doing? Especially the salaried people or the people that have an office or the people that are sitting at their kids' game or something along those lines. What are they doing? Scrolling away.
You're consuming or
Get
creating.
in front of your people.
I'll say
that you
this,
wanna be
from the
talking to.
outside looking in, if you have, because across all the stores, we have some stores like this store, the Toyota store is the most engaged dealership we have in social media, to the point where the culture there is almost, if you're not very good at doing this, it's gonna be hard for you to be successful inside that store, because they've raised the bar on what success looks like. And then we have some stores that don't do any of it. And then we have stuff in the middle, right? So some of it is when you start seeing some success, it becomes addictive, right? And then other people start mirroring you and so on and so forth. And before you know it, you have a whole store creating content. And it's just, I mean, the GA4 data that Zach drove in November of last year, I was like, what are you doing? because it outperformed our spend. I think you outperformed every store in the group.
Jeremy called me and goes, hey, I want to turn your leads off. Why? You're smoking my numbers.
Yeah. You know, and that's the power of it, right? Zero cost except time, really good content, and it outperformed every metric we had to drive leads into the store. I mean, just think about that. How much money do you spend per store on digital advertising? It's sizable. If you just do this really well, it outperforms it. Because where's everyone at? They're, you know, to be quite frank, a lot of times we bypass the ads, right, inside of Google, but we don't bypass our apps, our social media apps, and that's where it all lives. And so once you get into that algorithm, it's over, right? And then as soon as they start clicking, if you remember the ecosystem that I showed on the stage this morning, it feeds it. It's hungry, right? So when you set that up the right way, every click, it's in that, and it's computing, and the AI it knows where to take it. And you called it an audience type. It's a social media audience type. Guess what? They're not getting our normal ads. They're getting unique social media ads based on how they came into the ecosystem, and the cost of that is like nothing. It's just, and it's working right now. Like right now, if someone's click, we don't need to wait till there's 5,000 people in that audience. It can go one. We can send one unique piece of advertising out through our Marcom system, and that's the power of it. And that's what these guys are doing.
And they've
so
already
well.
chose to trust you.
Yeah.
Like that's the part that's
Yeah.
the invaluable. Like we don't have to sell you a car for you to trust us. You've already chosen to do that by following us. And here's the part when, to kind of answer your question, right? If you're running a store, if you're operating a business, if you're a vendor, whatever it is, right? Go back to the store, sit down with your team and say, pull out your phones, go to settings. And I want you to go to your phone's traffic showing you what did you spend time on, screen time. And immediately look at it. Like literally turn everybody's phone around. That's what we did at the store. I got so frustrated walking out and being like, put your phones away, put your phones away, put your phones away, that I just flipped the script and went, you're all annoying me because your phones are out. The expectation is now you have to create content. You want to be on your phone as much as you are. I know you're not calling and texting because you only logged 6 phone calls today, 7 emails, and 1 text message in the last 7 hours. So you're not doing the job. Let's do something else productive today. And that was the part where it became that nest egg of like, oh my gosh, Logan's idea isn't great, but he shared it with Austin, and Austin changed Logan's idea that then created this video, and that created the sales event, and that spiraled into this, and then we partnered with this company. And that's the part where it's gotten now to Jeremy's point, like this is a profit center for us. We have vendors paying us to highlight their products in the back of a video where we don't speak about it. It's just on the wall. Here it is, it's on the wall, and we don't say a word, and there it is, and we move on. Like this can offset all of the expense for Saturday lunches if you run a dealership. This can expense sales events. This can expense bonuses if you want to structure it that far. Like it's that type of income, and it only continues to grow exponentially because once you get past the initial follower count, it's downhill. And like we don't look at follower count now on majority of the counts. It's just like, oh wow, that's crazy. I'm now at 50,000. I'm now at 150,000. I'm now at 250,000, and it's just snowballing all the way down. So Austin, wrap us up.
Well, we got to go. They have a flight to catch. No, I was going to say one thing. If you want to follow somebody, Kyle is Cars. Kyle is Cars on TikTok. He's a variable operations director for Van Horn Auto Group. They trained with Russ, so within 60 days he got monetized. I think you'll find his content is like could be something that you could really copy. I mean, here's a guy again, another director level type role that he's doing it. He's doing it very well too. So that's why I want to give him a shout out.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you.